you want to study abroad but your main challenge is accessing the funding, then this video is for you. I'm going to share with you best international student loan companies that you may want to consider if you want to study in the United States or Canada. Number one on my list is MPOWER. MPOWER is a company that is allowing international students to study with full funding from them. So if you get admission in a school in Canada or US that they partnered with, they are going to help you with the funds for you to pay the tuition. And one very good thing about this one is that their requirement is very, very minimal, and that is why I partnered with them, because a lot of people are able to benefit from their services, because you don't need a credit score, you don't need a cosigner, which are the two major things that international students struggle with when it comes to accessing funding for their education. So what this company does is that they will help you to access the tuition if you get admission with any of their partner schools. So the recommended course is a STEM course, because those courses will help you to stay more than 1 year after studying and you are able to work. So that way you'll be able to pay back your loan. So once you're able to get admission in any of the partner schools and you get a good course, then you have a high chance of getting funding from these people. And then while you are studying, you're allowed to pay the interest of their loan. And then when you finish studying, you also have a grace period before you are now required to pay the full monthly payments for your loan. And one good thing is that they have many years that you can actually pay back that loan. In my experience, I would say that the duration is also similar to what citizens of Canada, US actually pay for when it comes to paying back their federal loans as well. So I feel like they are very, very good. But one con about them, the disadvantage of using MPOWER, is that because they have partner schools, if you get admission into another university that is not their partner, you may not be able to access funds. In fact, you will not be able to access funds with them. So that is the major challenge for some people, because they end up getting admission in other schools that they feel is cheaper for them, and then they are not able to access. So that is why I'm also going to talk to you about other options as well. Even though they might have greater requirement, but at least you know that you have many more options when it comes to accessing funding for your education abroad. Sounds good? Some of them are really very interesting, so make sure you stay to the end, because I'll be sharing tips along the way. The second one is Earnest. This particular company is also assisting international students to access funding for their education. However, this particular one will require that a student will have a physical address in the United States, and will also require a cosigner. However, a good thing about them is that if you're applying for a graduate program, or if you are in a graduate program, you can access funding without the requirement of having a cosigner. However, some students may need a cosigner, so it depends on an individual basis as well. They have a lot of pros in the sense that they have a lot of grace period. You can pay specific amounts of money. You can also skip payment once a year. So the good thing with this one is that they are a good option if you're already in the United States studying and you need funding, something to supplement your studies while you are in the United States. So Earnest is another good one that you can actually consider if you're studying in the United States. Another interesting one that I feel everyone should actually know about is Prodig Finance. So Prodig Finance you can use in many countries, so not just in the United States, you can use them in other countries, UK, Canada, I believe other many countries. They say 20 countries. So Prodig Finance is another one that a lot of people are exploring. However, if you want to use them in the United States, not all states, you cannot study in all states. They are just available in few states in the United States. And one good thing about them is that they don't require any cosigner. How cool is that? So Prodig Finance, they have all their requirement and everything, and their interest rate is as well like comparable, and they have so many universities that they partner with, and they have like a chat option on their website that if you go to their website, you are also able to like ask them questions, tell them where you are from, because I believe the country where you are applying from also affects their own application. That's for Prodig Prodig Finance. 4 on my list is Juno. Juno is a company, from my understanding on their website, is that they partner with some lenders and they help international students to now access loans through them. So one good thing about them is that they have low interest rates, and then you can compare, and then they have grace period, they have deferment period as well, and you can pay like a specific amount of money before you finish studying, and then when you finish studying they have a deferment period. However, they do require a co-signer, and the co-signer, they have certain requirements, such as living in the United States or being a US citizen, and then have to be earning a particular amount of money in a year. So if you're already in the United States, it's something that you can actually explore. 5 on my list is Accent. Accent is another company that is allowing international students to study and access loans via them. However, the Accent also have requirements such as having a co-signer earning a specific amount of money in a year, and then your co-signer needs to be a US citizen or permanent resident. And then one good thing with them is that they have deferment period as well. They have fixed amount of money, I think $25 that you are allowed to pay, and then they have also grace period. So they have a lot of advantage. I think the major challenge will be like meeting the requirement, but if you're already in the United States and you are requiring additional funding for your education, you have a co-signer, definitely explore Accent. 6 on my list is now Citizen Bank. Citizen Bank also offer international student loan, and they also require that they require a co-signer who lives in the United States or a permanent resident. However, since this option is available, and if you are in the United States and you can meet any of their requirements, the best is to contact them and find out other requirements and see if it is something that will work for you or for someone that you know. So there you have it. You have MPOWER, you have Prodig Finance, you have Juno, you have Accent, Citizen Bank, and all this good stuff that are coming out and are actually giving international students a chance to achieve their dreams of studying abroad. No longer are those days where people have to sell everything they have to study abroad. You can actually access loan and then pay over time. However, a lot of people do not want to access loan. They are scared of paying back. How about if you don't get a job? How about a lot of questions that people have in their head when it comes to accessing loan and studying? So one thing that you need to understand is that a lot of people are scared when it comes to loan because of the burden of paying back and everything. Some people don't even want it at all. But in my opinion, studying abroad is such a huge investment. You're investing in yourself, you're investing in your future, you're investing in your career. Having access to loan can actually make it a lot easier. You don't need to sell your things for you to be able to study abroad, and then you also have a chance to pay back